Okay, right, it's time for a little bit more fusion. Just to keep up the old practice. I'm not sure what we're going to make today. I think it'd be nice to have a go at maybe trying something with a thread. We tried to do something last time, which would have been nice. That's actually, let me get that for you. Just a recap on where we were with last project we did. Let's see if we can get. Yeah, I realise I've been talking and nobody could hear me. Yeah, let's backtrack that a little bit. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the solder reel from last time. The locking mechanism worked really well. The screw holes in the bottom worked fine. I didn't knock out the go faster holes here because they were a pain, but you might need a better setup than me. I mean, really, I don't have the patience to pop them out, but depending on your material and how you're doing your God, I can't remember what you call it now, this filling stuff, you'll be able to pop it out easier than me. Right, so let's get back to it. Basically, as I said, it would have been nice to have a thread on that. We had that idea of maybe we could thread something in. So I'm going to have a quick look at a thread, but then I might end up just getting bored and just doing something totally different. Who knows? Okay, so let's just see if there's anything obvious here. Like, I kind of think you could use a coil, but I think it actually does have specific stuff for doing threads in here. Yeah, oh, there it is, thread. Add an internal or external to. Okay, so if we make a cylinder, this might just be a quick one really. There's a cylinder, and then we're going to see the old thread tool. Faces. Was that it? Was that easy? Look. And then just choosing the profile. So you might, if it's an Acme screw, for example. Is it just drawing them on there, or is it actually doing this? Let's just go for an isometric profile. Modeled. Oh, yeah. I think that's the difference. You see there it says modeled or not. I wonder if it's because it's quite time consuming for it to calculate a thread, so it just gives you this picture. I bet if you click OK it probably does it. Actually, you're right, it doesn't. That's weird, isn't it? Weird. Cool whip. Let's try again. Oh, you'd want one that's modelled or not modelled. That's this little eye. Tips. If necessary, the select feature reside to match. Okay, whatever. Right. So that's that one. Now, if you have an internal thread, I'm wondering if it adds the tolerances for stuff like that. Let's see. Going to draw our shape. Then we're going to put an internal thread. See, now that's not so dandy, is it? It's not letting me select that. Let's try again. Maybe it has to be a shape that's, let's go Not sure if I don't have the timeline turned on, do I? Oh, I do. Here it is. Okay, let's go back in time. Let's make a shape that's something kind of cylinder based. So if you were making a hexagon, for example, you could start off with a cylinder and then hex it out a bit later. So let's try this internal thread. Maybe you have to actually make a hole. That's where we went wrong. Okay, I'm gonna go back. Let's place a square. I do recall seeing square nuts on things, but ye old things. Now the weird thing is, we didn't measure that cylinder, so we I'm not sure what it was. Let's say it was 70 for argument's sake. And we're going to hit thread, that, yeah, modeled. Yeah, I mean that seems okay. I mean that may fit, but I wonder if geometrically there's much difference with what we've done. So if there's tolerance not added versus doing something like this, where we're going to copy an existing shape like that, and then just do a mathematical operation on it. I mean, that would be crazy tight, right? Target body, tool body, cut. So you'd end up something like that. But you've got zero tolerance in there. So if it would be a super tight fit. Right, so that was handy dandy, interesting, but I think it's time to think about something new. So I'm just going to have a look on my desk. I know a lot of people watch these streams later, so I'm not expecting massive amounts of live interaction, but of course if you ever are watching this and you want to catch one in the future, go ahead. Now I do have on my desk this kind of GoPro style camera, which I think is a bit of fun, and it might be nice to make some sort of mount, I guess, for the GoPro. Now like that is going to be something that there's going to be a billion of, but what there isn't for me is something that, because you can use this camera as a webcam, but the problem with that is you have to mount it up. So what I normally do is I screw this thing in the bottom, and it has this little sticky foot, which is pretty lame, doesn't work very well. So maybe there's something I can 3D print there if I dismantle it and make a better kind of foot. How about that? That's what I'm going to try. So let me have a look at this. Not much to it. So we can probably start with a sketch. Let's take some measurements. It's about 13 mil to the center hole on a 20 mil high thing. So let's see what we can do. So the height would be, I'm just going to mark out some dimensions basically. So that's your 20 mil. I'm just going to keep that there as a reference, to be honest. We're going to get rid of that in a second because I want to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's a 5 mil hole. Something like that. And then the radius of the outer circle is something like 15. like that. So just as a sanity check, the bottom of that radius to the datum on the screen should be about 6 mil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. So that sounds about 6 mil to me. Right, so that's pretty cool. So let's see what's... So that gives us that. So we can delete this potentially, yeah. So we have 2 circles. Well, you don't really have to do anything more. Let's have a look how it looks. You don't really, yeah. There's nothing stopping you from just putting a flange or something on that and calling it a day. So I'm going to go down like that. There, I think that's a good looking thing. Now let's see how that sketch works out here in the real world. Not so shabby. So we don't really want the whole. We just want the outer parts. So if we can select those 2. And the overall shape on this one here, 15 mil. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Let's try that again, shall we? That and that. I want it to go off there. 15 millimeters. That's better. So again, you can just see we're just modeling that chunky part on the bottom. Now we're going to have to make a cut in it, or 2. So the 2 cuts will be 3 millimeters wide each. So we're going to make some new tools from that, for that. So 3 millimeters wide by, let's call it 26 mil high. Oh, by 26. And we'll give it pretty much as much length as we'd want, and it's just going to be a new body anyway, so we don't worry about the intersections right now. That'll do. Let's just bring that in. Let's see how deep it goes. And depth wise, we're looking at 4 millimeters. So you can start from here if you want and just count 1, 2, 3, 4, which is pretty much where we were. So let's look at it from the front. We're going to need 2 of these, and then we're going to have to work out where exactly we want to put them. So if you look at your GoPro, gosh, should just use a better ruler. You're talking 3 mils, 3 mils, 3 mils. It's all 3 mils. So this will start on the edge, and then it will move in. 1, oh, if it's 10, it should look like that. And then we're going to have to move this next one. Hey! Hey, Pink Mouse. I wasn't sure what to do, so I decided that we should do something with this GoPro mount, just for fun. I'm not sure what I'm going to mount to it, but something. 3. Boom. So it's going to look something like that. So now we can take the target body, take our tools out. Let's extract them both. We don't need to keep them. We're not going to use them again. Now we're starting to look quite GoPro-ish. Now the thing that makes it a bit different on this is that there is a captive nut on the end, so we will have to make something to captivate a nut, which we might as well just do now, get it out of the way. It's not going to be too difficult, we're talking just a cylinder. We'll just use their dimensions, they've already worked it out. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. Yeah, I think Pink Mouse, you'd have definitely preferred it to have the ratcheting mechanism, but you don't need it, it's fine. It works super well without the ratchet. So we will need to make a hole here actually. While we're at it, let's just get that hole made, because that's the bolt will have to go through here into the nut, and then we're going to have to make the nut. So that's a more tricky proposition really. We are going to do it possibly by a sketch. Let's see if there's something here that helps us draw this. If not, do we want an inscribed polygon or a circumscribed polygon? Well, we probably wanted the other one. But how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Oh, that's pretty good. But it's got a cross flat measurement, so I'd say about 2 mil. So you come here, 1, 2, 2 mil. Yeah, it might be a bit more. It's a tricky one, really. Oh, but there is a chamfer on it. Hang on. It's just me measuring wrong. You know what? I don't know. I'm being even generous with that. Okay, hang on. 6.5. Oh yeah, that's me just being lame. 4.5. That'll be okay there. Finish the sketch. Just finish the damn sketch. Now, how deep do we want it to be? We can afford quite a lot, to be honest with you. I think you might as well. I think 2.5 should be fine. Okay. Right, so that is starting to look quite nicely modelled. I'm not putting you roundy rounds on anything. Sometimes these things are small, so small, you won't really see those features when you print it anyway. So you might just tumble. Right. So we do actually have the basics of the bracket. We should just save that. GoPro bracket. And it's not a GoPro. It's a GoPro compatible camera. Oh, there you go. I think Fusion was doing a bit of a save or something there. So how would we mount this on the monitor? Just having a little look. So if we want the tilt mechanism to be front and back, okay, so that's how we've got it, and we have that here. So it's going to go front and back tilt. We need something that's going to grip the edge, I think, of the monitor. Okay. So I'm just going to spitball basically here something. I'm trying to imagine where the center of gravity is going to be on this thing. going to set it a bit further back, possibly. Again, something we can do is sketching. We're getting used to sketching now. Works quite well, so let's just do it that way. You basically want to create something that's going to grab an edge of something. So, and not look lame. We're pretty much just freestyling it anyway, so no worries too much. Okay. So let's give ourselves a decent lip over the edge of the monitor, which is at least 10 mil. And that looks at least 10 mil. But we also have to make something that we can print at the end of the day too, so that's probably going to be the challenge. 2.5 mil sounds like plenty. You just go across. To somewhere like that. Join that there. And it does seem common that you always have a bit at the back which you can move, which is hinge. So we're going to do that hinged part too. I don't think we need the hinge to protrude, so we're going to recess that down. So we're going to start the pin here somewhere. That'll do. Let's get a little bit drawn off here too. Oh. Okay. That might do. And yeah, I know it looks a bit lame at the minute, but let's see how it will transform once we extrude it out and add a few features to it. Just gotta make sure we select all of it though. See how long that is. Get your ruler. I think fiddy. Let's go to fiddy, minus 50 millimeters. We'll create a new body because that isn't where we really want it, and we're going to make that centered. Now that is almost there, but not quite. We need it minus 17.5. There we go. Okay, so we're getting somewhere now. I'm just aware as I'm designing this that we might be able to print it in any simple way, which is always a bit of a shame if that happens, but I think this is how it goes sometimes. Yeah, see you in a bit, Pink Mouse, no worries. So I think we're going to go for a 5mm. Hey, Pepsi! How's it going? You can see we're making a super crafty GoPro monitor mount. So I can monitor. I can replace the camera you're looking at with my new camera. You've seen this camera in operation, but this is the one that can do 4K. Whereas that does 1080p, which is probably plenty. I don't know if the buffering's your end, maybe. I mean, it says it's giving plenty of kilobits. I mean, I can press, let me have a look. I can press play and it should show me the stream. Well, it's not playing for me either, so I don't know. Maybe YouTube's just not working. Maybe it's just the end of days and I should have done a local recording and made this just a normal video. Either way, I feel I should just continue. Got a bit of a sore throat coming. So continue whilst we can. How about that? And just hope that the video sorts itself out. It says it's excellent, so I don't know. Oh right, sorry then. So you got me chasing my tail. That's fine. Okay. Let's go from ear to ear. You can see I'm using very accurate measurements. Oh my gosh. Got myself in a pickle. No. Okay, yeah. That was a comedy of error. I'm just trying to work out. So what I'm basically trying to do is put a cut in here. Okay, so we need to be able to hinge around this point. And I'm just going to create a tool using a box. That's okay, Pebze. I forgive you. I'm very forgiving mood today, so that'll be fine. So we're going to go 2 and a bit, 2 and a bit. Now height-wise, so this is why I was trying to turn it. Height-wise, I kinda want to be where that is. And I want to see. It's such a weird. Oh my word. All right, well that'll do. Because height-wise, you're trying to compare it on visualize it against a curved surface, which doesn't help. But I can do that here. So we are going to need a bit of that chopping to come up from the top. But we've got some good lines now. We can align stuff to. So what have you been up to today then, Pebze? So we want that plane. Let's get it to somewhere over the bit here. I think that's where we want it to be. Again, it's all just guesswork, but I did once actually design an hinge, and it was a very nice hinge as well. So yeah, I think I've got hinge form. I think that will be okay. Everything is going to be okay. Just remember that. Keep repeating it to yourself. What is that? What? Putting up wallpaper in a room. How the other half live. What things, what dreams. Let's get this box on the go. So this is really just a little brackety thing, really. A little slidey piece that we could make it as long as this, but I don't think we actually have to. But why don't we? It might be fun. In fact, he says itching his various body parts. Remember we made it 2.5. Come on. Yeah. Okay. Took me a bit of time to think about that, didn't it? Good. It's floating in midair, which is kind of where we want it. And we're going to keep that as a new body. And it will hopefully become clear what we're doing in a bit. If not, good as mine. Yeah, and I made a boo-boo there, but that's okay, because I made 2 separate pieces, so I kind of just want to join them. I'm just going to check. Let's just turn off those. Okay, right. Sometimes if these things are visible and you don't, and you join them, more bits start joining together than you intended, and then you'll be in trouble. So I think we're looking good now. I think we're almost there. So we just want another cylinder. Gryffindor. Be as long as that. New body. Get rid of that, get rid of that. We're going to union that to that so they become one thing. That's good. And then actually what we're going to do, you might as well just join these two things as well because it'll just simplify things. They become one thing. Now I just want to make sure the maths work out. So I'm going to say that's the target, that's the tool. Cut one from the other. Keep the tools, click OK, boom. That means that those two things do actually fit now. And what we can do is test our hinge by rotating it around. You can see that will basically clamp on that way. So it's up to us if we want to add a feature, of course, on the end to give it a bit of grip, which I think we do. So let's add another little boxy bit before. Oh, so you've finally finished it all and you're relaxing with a beer and YouTube. Yeah, I have to admit, the old YouTube, I don't find it so relaxing anymore because it never seems to suggest to me stuff I want to watch. It just seems to be me suggest, you know, whatever I kind of last watched or glimpsed, or somebody sends me a video and it just endlessly sends me more of the same, which isn't always what I want. I just want to watch the people I subscribe to, but it makes you have to go and dig around for that, doesn't it? It doesn't want you to do that for some reason. Right, so it's looking a bit blocky, but it's definitely there. It's all there. Now, of course, you will have to find some hardware to push through here, and you're going to have a lot of fun trying to push it through if we don't clear that hole out. Now, come on, there's always the possibility of making something printable, like a pin, a little knobble that knobbles in, but I don't think I really believe that that's going to be a good solution for this. I think finding a bit of dowel or something of the right material, bit of brass, is going to give you the best finish on that. So find something to pop through that hole. A pin, a nut, and a bolt, anything. There's already a project that needs some hardware anyway, so just go and buy something. Or even a screw. You could put a screw in from each end if that'll help. Okay, so we've done that, and I think it's time to pretty this up by adding all of our chamfers and fillets and radiuses and all those little things that we like. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, no, too much. Bring it back. Give it 0.5 mil. Look at that. You can't beat that, can you? That level of professionalism. But I do think this all looks a little bit heavy. So is there anything we can do on this corner? Right here. Oh, yes we can. 1 millimeter. There you go. I think that looks quite nice. Now we've lost our references. I'm going to undo that. So if you're going to do something like that, what I suggest is select all of the things you want to do that to in one go, because you will not be able to apply it later once you've lost the reference. So that is nice. That's going to do the job, isn't it? If I scroll around having a look, see what else do we have. Honestly though, it's brutally ugly, but it's small, so I'm not sure you'd even notice it when you print this thing out. Look, so that's an example. See, you can't do it on here now because you've lost that sharp edge. So if you really want to do it again, undo everything. Let's try to just get them all in one go. So we want this front edge here, that, and that. and we should be able to get a mill in comfortably. Yeah, just like that. And that's it. That's all you got to do. Okay. So you could possibly even soften this down, but again, we're talking about something that's that big. Just leave it alone. What else? If you've got a means of printing it in a way that's gonna make any kind of appreciable difference, you could do that. Again, not my printer, but some people do have printers out there that will be able to handle some of these finer features, so you might as well. These are the bits where the other thing slides in. No, doesn't like doing it on a curve. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that's a bit interesting. Oh, I think that's probably it. I think that is worth printing as it is, unless you can think of anything else. I think we are probably done with this bracket, and it's something we can just go straight away and shove onto the Thingiverse. So yeah, thank you anybody who watched the stream live, but yeah, I know it's more for the not live viewers, but there you go. Have a go printing it. If you've got the old GoPro, let me know how you get on. Was it rubbish? Did it stick to your monitor or didn't it? And as ever, thank you for watching.